All the way from Phoenix, Arizona, Portland, Oregon, and Dallas, Texas. It's the Bros Before Elbows Pro Wrestling Podcast.
Welcome to the Bros Before Elbows Pro Wrestling Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Anthony, along with my other hosts, Tommy and Theron, coming all the way at you from PDX, PHX, and the Dallas, Texas area. This show is going to be pretty open forum, so we're just going to have at it, and welcome to the show, guys.
We're switching it up by having no format. Just, nothing that button-up stuff, man. We're just going to freestyle it here.
So we're going straight Mike Lowry coming at you hot with no game plan at all, but still winning and getting the girl at the end.
Your San Francisco 49ers are the Super...
Nope.
You shot off the Super Bowl early, man. You could have said that.
Yeah, let's stop you right there. It was actually the Chiefs and my homeboy, just like I said it would be, and I won $5 on that.
Oh, nice.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with that $5?
You know, that's a good question. What can I do with the? I'm thinking about turning it into single dollars.
That's the 10 Jack in the Box tacos right there. 2 for 99 cents.
It's true.
Well, I feel like
or 5 items at the dollar store.
Ooh.
Or 5 items, or I could turn it into $5 in quarters and add it to my coin jar. Thus later increasing my output when I take that to Coinstar.
Or you could
No, don't take it to Coinstar. Take it to the bank. Why are you going to get ripped 10% of your money? Why give away 10 pennies of your dollar when you can just go to the bank and save all your pennies?
Every dollar.
Oh my God, pretty much.
You guys are absolutely right. I don't know. I also profited $100 that day because a man wanted my hat and he gave me $100 for it.
What, $100? What kind of hat was it?
It was like a dad cap, man. It was a cap that I found at Cane Rosso, and I was like, this hat's sweet. I'm taking it home. And then now, 6 months later, a man approached me at the bar and said, "Hey, how much you want for that hat?" And I was like, $100, because I thought that was a lot.
Yeah, that is a lot for a hat.
Walked away, and then he came back with $100. That hat probably cost like $25.
Don't you have a lost and found at your working establishment to put lost hats in?
That's where it was, but no one claimed it, so I washed it, and then now I made $100 off of it. So I turned $0 into $100.
There you go, man. Yeah. Just turn that into quarters.
Take that to Coinstar. Exactly. Take that to Coinstar and lose $10 off.
I would take it to the bank, like money in the bank. Coming to you live sometime in the spring or summer.
Think of the July pay-per-view, sir.
Oh, well, so I said spring or summer, so I left my options open there.
Nice.
What is going on with you guys? How's Portland and or Gilbert, Arizona?
Portland's good. It's cold.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just super cold. No snow. It's been rainy a lot, which kind of stinks. But in good news, me and Andrew, one of the guys that tweets to us, and we've had him on the show before, him and I are going to be going to NXT Portland.
The Takeover?
Yeah, we're going to Takeover.
Nice. Your brother and I.
So it's going to be super fun. I get to see Ciampa and Cole. I get to see Keith Lee and Dijakovic. Get to see... oh gosh, who else is going to be there? Another big match. Gargano, right? I think Gargano. Yeah. Gargano.
Someone
Balor.
returned on NXT tonight that you'll be really happy return. They'll probably be an NXT takeover.
Is it a woman? No, a woman by the name of Charlotte Flair?
No,
yes, it's a woman by the name of Charlotte Flair. We'll just go with that.
Yeah, the better surprise.
Unless you want to.
Let's just not spoil it.
All right.
You gotta watch on the award-winning WWE Network.
Which, by the way, I caught up on NXT from last week. Obviously, I haven't seen what today's episode is, but I was able to watch AEW for the first time. And I was a little peeved at the TNT app because the stupid ads kept crashing the program. But needless to say, I was able to trudge through it, and it was cool.
Is there a commercial breaks when you watch it on the app? What's going on with that?
Yeah. There was so it's through the TNT app, and when they take commercial breaks, they'll have like 130 seconds or whatever of other commercials, and there was one specific commercial that kept crashing it, so it was a little aggravating.
The same commercial, the same thing.
That was like the same company. It was like some.
Was it a Comcast commercial?
No, it was for an app. It was for like a cash advance app.
It was Coinstar. It was a Coinstar app.
Essentially, yeah, man.
No, it was. What is it called? Dang, I can't think of none of those cash advance app names now.
Yeah, it's some. I mean, the premise of it's cool, but in my mind, I mean, obviously, I work in finance. It's like, why don't you just be a little bit more responsible with your money?
Yeah, don't you have to pay back that cash advance still? None.
Yeah, of course, man. They have to be making money somehow. And I have no disclaimer. I have absolutely no idea how the app works. But in my mind, again, what I have done is I made a Google Calendar of when all my bills are due and when I get paid. And that way I have a foreshadow and I know exactly when everything is due. And, I know what's coming up, so I don't have to worry about freaking out going, I got to borrow $100 to pay for whatever. It's like, it's 2020.
Like Def Jam, apps, those cash advance apps, they're marketed to low income people who can't afford to have Google spreadsheets or even don't make enough money, even living paycheck to paycheck kind of people. That's the kind of.
But Google Sheets is free. You can even use a pen and paper.
You cannot.
Calendars are free.
This is where our first thing goes. Our first open form goes. You cannot. People who live paycheck to paycheck cannot worry about when that's how they prey on those people, man. Just like those cash advance apps and those credit cards, the high fees.
Oh yeah, no, they totally prey on them.
That live live in this culture now where, and I've seen this firsthand in in Charlotte especially, a lot of people will borrow money from people, not from apps, and it's people do live paycheck to paycheck, which is terrible. But it's you shouldn't have to borrow money. I don't know where the message was missed in that between the generations, but I see it a lot. I have a friend that will remain. I have two friends that will remain nameless that I left Charlotte. And
they're not listening to the show right now, are they?
Don't even care. They know who they are. But they're I think 8 months. I've been in this city now in Dallas for 8 months, and I hadn't spoken to either of them much in those 8 months. But they'll hit me up and be like, "I'm down to my last couple dollars. I'm broke. I need to borrow money."
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, So is that something that everyone experiences, or is it just people not having discipline? You know what I mean? Because some people are really good with money. A lot of people are really bad with money. And then some people just don't know how to manage their money, period.
I think if you're working at Walmart or working at McDonald's, man, you're just behind the 8 ball as it is, man. So, I don't think you can. If you're working at Walmart, you're a single mom with 4 kids, or 3 kids, or 1 kid, for example, or whatever. Yeah. You just a lot of people are just in tough situations, man. So I think I don't know how to say this without getting political or anything, and I don't want to talk politics on our podcast whatsoever. But yeah,
it's an open forum.
It is our open forum format. But man, that's just I think it's just very this is everyone's opinion, man. I think it's tough. Yeah, tough. Life is tough, and everyone's not handed the same cards. Everyone's not born into the right situation, etc., etc. Yeah. It's a tough question to answer in a podcast.
I would say this: it is tough, and I've been on both sides of the coin. I've spent recklessly. I've lived paycheck to paycheck. I've borrowed money. I've literally had negative dollars in my checking account, and now obviously being on the other side of the coin. And the reason I got into the industry I'm in is specifically to help people who are in really tough situations, because what I have found, what it comes out to be a lot of the times is it. And it sounds easier said than done, but truly it's a behavioral thing. It's a habit thing. And it comes down to when you don't get in front of what's coming in and what's going out. We're humans, right? We're designed to kind of take the path of the least resistance. And a lot of the times that just means I'm not going to think about it, and I'll deal with it when it comes. And that's, and I'm talking about tons of spectrum, right? I'm not just talking about low income folks. I see it with people that are, nearing retirement the next year or two, and it's the same story. It's I just haven't looked at this. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'd like to do these things in the future. And that's obviously a much harder conversation to have. But what I will say is what's tough is this. What's tough is being intentional about your choices. And sometimes it boils down. A lot of the times it boils down to having to say no, but also boils down to having to say no publicly. And a lot of the times you have to say no to your friends publicly. So, I think what happens is people work very, very hard for their money. And I respect the hell out of that. What I find challenging and a little odd at times is if you work so hard for your money, why are you so willing to give it away so quickly?
To fill,
right? Like if you're in debt, that means literally like your money's already accounted for. So when you get your paycheck and you owe somebody money, that's not your money, that's their money. And so like I try to instill this idea, and it's hard. I've even had to do it, which is why again I've disciplined myself. That works for me. Is I'm going to make a Google Calendar of when my Hulu's due, my WWE, my electric bill, all of that. So I can see it for the entire year, right? Like it was a pain in the ass to build, but it's built. And I can see like every pay period that I have, and I can just get in front of it. And sometimes it's having to say no. It's going, man, I really want to go golfing, but golfing's going to cost me like $30-$40. Yeah. And if some buddies are like, dude, let's go golfing this weekend, where old me would be like, yeah, man, let's do it. I'll figure it out. I'll put it on a credit card with a 25% interest rate. That means 25 pennies, dude, 25 pennies of every dollar. But this is what I'm saying. And people just ignore it. I ignored it for a long time. But now I look at it and I go, whoa. As much as cool as that would be, as fun as that would be, like, honestly, like, I'm going to have to say no. Yeah. So again, I without getting too political, without getting too down the rabbit hole, I think what's empowering is knowing that you have a choice. And I think what's also empowering is knowing that you can direct the flow of what is happening in the world. Now, of course, if you're a single mom with like 8 kids, obviously that's extremely difficult. Wow. And I'm not saying like there's no magic anything. It's literally just you have to do something to get money. And I'm not saying do nefarious things or illegal things. It's just no, I'm just saying like what I'm getting at is like it's no situation is easy, but when you boil it all back and you strip everything away, regardless of some of the challenging situations, it comes down to a choice. You either will give it away or you will keep it for yourself. Yeah. And I think the important thing is to learn to keep it for yourself and pay yourself first. Right? Like that's a good habit. Like I get excited now. I'll only take another 20 seconds on this, but I personally get excited and I want to instill this to other people. When you get your paycheck, like it's exciting for me to take, $20 and just immediately put it into my savings. Or if I could afford to do more, I'll do more. And that excites me because then I know if I do spend money on anything else, I can spend it guilt free. Yeah. I'm not feeling like, oh, I feel bad. Like I'll deal with this later. And then, pay the piper in dividends. You know what I mean? And like I get screwed on that. So that's my soapbox.
What do you get your own? We get the financial corner there in soapbox.
I have a passion for it, man. That's why I'm doing it, man. I'm trying to spread the good word.
But it's interesting because I did some math. I think I told Anthony this in our other convos, but it was basically like if I were to put like $300 a paycheck away for 7 months, I think it was 6-7 months, that comes out to like $8,000. That's amazing, man. which is, but it's like I've never
$300 a month,
$300 a paycheck. So that's $600 a month. $600 a month, which that people. I'm a bachelor.
$4,200.
Yeah, I'm a bachelor, so I can do that. You know what I mean? But it's like people don't think to do that. It's just like a lot of, especially in as a single old man, it's like everyone's like, oh, let's go do this, let's go do that. But all of the end of last year and then this year, I'm just like, when does that cycle end? Like when do you start looking
when you want
yourself?
It to end?
Exactly. And it's like, if you want to have a future and you want to settle down and you want to have kids and you want to get married, you can't. It's really hard living paycheck to paycheck. And I think,
or even if you want future self to be happy, right? Like,
or just future Theron. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Future Theron will thank present Theron when you, and the funny thing is, and again, just the funny thing is, it's not sexy to save, but here's the thing. It's still your money. It's still your freaking money. You didn't give it to anybody else. You gave it to yourself. It's just not in the palm of your hand. It's just not on the screen. It's in a different account that is still your freaking money. It's still your money. That's what blows my mind.
I want future Anthony and present Anthony to meet past Anthony versus future Theron.
I'd kick him in the nuts, dude. I would choke slam old Anthony. Oh my God, dude.
Future Anthony.
I would beat up myself.
No, not future Anthony, past Anthony. I would kendo stick old Anthony because I blew all my money on Chipotle and Wingstop, dude.
Chipotle and Wingstop. That's the greatest reference. Oh my God.
That's a horrible combination of your stomach, man.
It's the truth.
I was a fool, dude. I was a fool. I would just get paid. I'd go out to lunch every day, and I was working at Best Buy. I mean, I wasn't married. I mean, sure, I was dating and, whatever, but no, man, like it's oh man, now future Anthony is going to think, now present Anthony is doing good things for future Anthony. So future Anthony can be very happy in the future and not be so stressed out, because I see it every day, man. And that's just,
tell me those
don't do that to yourself,
stories, man. Like people like don't start saving to retirement until like 1 year before retirement, which is just like horrifying to think about.
That's scary, dude.
You're literally waiting to hit a grand slam. It is the bottom of the ninth. It is the third out, right? And like you were on base, and your future is decided between you hitting a grand slam or you getting hit by the ball. And you getting hit by the ball literally means like that's it. You're fired. You're done. Like your entire life changes. It literally changes, and that is so to see the look on people's faces is not a good experience. To be told that either A, you're gonna work until you're dead, or B, like you just don't have a chance to do the things that you want because you didn't set up any mechanism in the past. Like there's nothing that the math doesn't lie. Math isn't different. Math doesn't care.
Numbers are evil, man. Yeah, numbers have no heart or soul.
No, so that's why it's like, again, and I know it's soapbox stuff, but for anything, like if something's really important to you, you're gonna find a way. And again, it comes down to making intentional choices, and sometimes you have to say no publicly, and that takes discipline, and that builds character, though, because that means something is truly, truly important, and you're willing to not do something in the present to be better fulfilled in the future.
Like Jeff Goldblum said in Jurassic Park, life finds a way.
Life does find a way.
We're getting deep. You never know.
We're getting deep in the first 17 minutes.
Or you could be a 24-year-old dude in Kansas City and win the Super Bowl and be an MVP and just have a bazillion dollars.
But how many people? How many? That's like a handful of people in the entire world that get that opportunity.
It's actually one.
That's bonkers.
I think so many people, so many dudes or women, either or, dream of being an athlete and a super athlete and all that stuff. But then reality kicks in and you don't have that. That doesn't come true for you, so you got to like grind it out. But the one thing that I will say is I am thankful that, guys like you and other people have like molded me to now understand money better. Because I didn't really get it coming up. I didn't really understand it. Like when I left my house, I didn't know. What I mean? I didn't know what checks and balances was. Didn't know what credit was. I just was like, oh, money, I can spend that. That's fine. What they don't tell you is you got to pay it back. And anytime you buy a house, you buy a car, any of that stuff, you're assuming a debt. They don't tell you that when you're coming up. You know what I mean? So like, this is good stuff that people should be listening to. Shout out to the pros for dropping that knowledge.
Elbows in knowledge this week.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man, for sure. And that's the thing. It's empowering when you learn about something that isn't really taught in school. I mean, obviously, you take an economics class, but you're just learning about micro and macro economics and utility and GDP and all this other stuff. It's like, okay, neat. But how do I buy a house? What the hell is a 1040? What's a 1099? What's a W-2? Like, those are the most important things you should be learning about, but either way, I digress.
Quick stat. There's currently 7.7 billion people in the world.
And one of them just won the Super Bowl.
7.7 billion, yeah.
Yeah.
7.7 and one just won the Super Bowl.
There's 150,000 of them living in Frisco now, which is where I live. It's a suburb in Dallas. 150,000. And growing. There's 11 high schools in this little town.
Oh my gosh!
And this town is probably as big as Ahwatukee. and maybe where Corona is combined, to give you an idea.
And there's 11 high schools.
And there's 11 DVs?
Schools. Yes, 11 high schools, bro. And it's insane. But like,
is traffic really crazy there or no?
If you're out at 5, yes. If it's like 3, 4, 5, yeah, it's pretty awful. But other than that, no. But I mean, it's always full. So like the people that own this town are Jerry Jones and then one other person. They put all the land out here. They paid for everything. But the way it works is every time an incoming class, and they probably stop now, gets to like a certain number. So let's say that number's like 800. They just build a new high school. And then they put them in their own school, dude.
God bless America.
Yeah, it's insane, man. Like,
is Portland still growing a lot? It's still like, is still everyone want to move to Portland, Anthony? Now that like cannabis laws and just like all the, like, you always see Portland teen and Portland teen.
You guys got Mello?
Yeah, you got Carmelo Anthony.
We do, yeah. I got to see Mello play like a month ago. It was pretty cool. Yeah, there's still a lot of people moving here. I don't think as much. Definitely a lot of housing being built. Tons of housing. I mean, Liz and I counted probably like 15, 16 cranes downtown and plenty more on the east side. And they're just basically knocking down old ass houses and building duplexes and triplexes and apartments. And
what about Arizona? Is Arizona still growing?
Yeah, still, people were saying the other day that's still like it's one of the most fastest growing states still. And just like people from California are moving just because it's like so expensive to live in California.
Yeah, people are turning on Cali.
Just because it's just so a lot of people from California moving there, and then of course the Midwest people because it's so cold there. Like so from people from Chicago. For Detroit, Wisconsin, Minnesota, all moving out here. So yeah, man, still Arizona's still growing, but the cost of living still pretty low.
Bumping.
That's good. That's important. That cost of living
and get more crowded.
Oh my gosh, is there any? I know you took little Tommy to a pro wrestling event. Is that federation or that promotion still going on? Or is there any new promotions in Arizona?
Anthony was there. I mean, no, Anthony was there. Theron was there. Yeah, it was a party hard wrestling. Yeah, they're still doing. They still did an event. They just did an event in Guadalupe last in December, like a lucha event,
nice.
A lucha crossover event.
Oh, cool!
A crossover event for like charity. So, yeah, man, they're still on Facebook and Instagram and stuff. They're cool. But other than that, I don't know. I think there's something like in Central Phoenix too as well. But they're on Fight TV. There's something on Fight TV. You look it up. There's an Arizona show they do weekly, and I think it's from downtown Phoenix or something. So, yeah, there is some stuff. There's some wrestling love out here.
Is the Trash King still the champion?
I don't know, but they had Colt Cabana at their last event. They flew out Colt and invested. Yeah, that was huge for them, man. That's blowing all their budget, man. Yeah, that's like Mr. T at WrestleMania 1 or Lawrence Taylor at Bam Bigelow or something.
Oh wow!
We got to get speaking of different promotions, we got to get Ricky Gibson and his tag team partner Freak Nasty Eddie Pearl on the show.
Whoa, those names are cool. The rock star Ricky Gibson, or is it Rock God?
I think it's man.
That was rocking Ricky Gibson was like his babyface persona, and then Rock God was like his heel persona. I kind of.
He's not really heel anymore. Now he's tagged up with Freak Nasty.
That's a cool name.
Freak Nasty is so cool, dude. Eddie Pearl's a badass. And I think they just won a couple of belts. So
Sweet.
I think it'd be good to have those dudes on the show. I mean, obviously I need to do more research and know what the hell I'm talking about if we get them on. But
Freak Nasty, Earl Morrell.
I wonder if they watch.
Sounds like
dude,
they watch
cool.
AEW or WWE.
Yeah,
I definitely see them like a lot of stuff that they post on Instagram, so I would assume that they do.
That's cool, man. I think that'd be awesome to like talk about coming up in the world of like aspiring pro wrestler. Like, do they want to do it full time, or they just want to do it like as a side gig or like a hobby, or what?
Dude, I'm telling, it's still Rock God Ricky Gibson.
Nice.
Dude, okay, first and foremost, like, you know, Ricky Gibson specifically is like super swole. He's definitely gotten bigger, and which is awesome. He's just like cut and looking good, and he is like kicking ass, dude. They got really cool merch. They're just busy, man. So Ricky Gibson and Eddie Pearl they're 4 Minutes of Heat is the name of their tag team. And they're all over, dude. They freaking did a match against Rhino and Joey Ryan.
No way. Joey Ryan is everywhere, man. He was here.
Are you talking about the famous wrestler Joey Ryan?
Yeah,
dude.
He was here last Royal Rumble weekend. He was doing events and stuff. But man, that guy's everywhere. Joey Ryan on Twitter, man's like, that guy hustles.
Isn't he an Impact?
Is he an Impact now? I don't know, man. Or is he still doing independent stuff?
He was. He's kind of all over.
He's everywhere. Yeah, that's good. That's good. I remember he was. I think he started in Impact a long time ago, and his character was like just arrogant. There was no.
There's nothing behind it.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep it all PG. Yeah, yeah, nothing behind it. Just
so check this out real quick. So for Prestige Wrestling, 4 minutes of heat versus Rhino and Bull James. Bull James was Bull Dempsey in NXT.
I remember that dude. Yeah,
I remember that name.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool tag team. Him and Rhino, like a big bowling ball team.
That's legit, dude. So yeah, man, they're definitely kicking ass and taking names. And so yeah, man, we should definitely have them on the show. They're cool cats. Awesome. But yeah, man. So that's cool that Arizona still has, or Phoenix has, some cool little promotions that are still going on. Anything in Dallas that you know of there?
I'm sure there's something. I haven't found anything local yet. No, but I bet you if I Googled it, because AEW's been out here. They spent like a couple weeks throughout Texas. They had a show in Dallas, and people. I think Raw's coming next. Maybe in a couple weeks. SmackDown was here. Let's see, Dallas local wrestling promotions. Just because I'm curious now, but no. Local wrestling from look at that.
That's pretty rad.
Another
Texas All-Star. Oh, they got like 3 world-class pro wrestling, Texas All-Star Wrestling Live. These are all shows that'll be here. I don't know. And then Monday Night Raw is on the 23rd of March.
How far are you from Austin, Texas?
I think Austin's 3 to 4 hours. Yeah. It's not.
Sorry, I forgot how big Texas is.
Texas is quite
huge.
How far are you from the Alamo?
Is that in San Antonio?
Yeah, it is actually.
I have no idea.
5 or 6 hours.
Wow, man, Texas is huge.
Texas is disgusting. Houston's like 5 hours. Frisco itself, which is just a suburb, is pretty big, and Dallas itself, as a whole city with 95 majoring suburbs, is pretty big, man. Like everything is just like spread out. There's like McKinney, Carrollton. Then there's Fort Worth, which you would think Fort Worth is close. No, it's like an hour away.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's a big place. But yeah, no, I don't see anything specifically local to Dallas except for this world-class pro wrestling. Get tickets for this world-class pro wrestling event at the Plaza Arts in Carrollton.
Sounds legit.
Let's see if there's a Dallas wrestling school. There's got to be. I'm just bored. So I'm just looking this up.
Live on it. Do you guys do anything for the Super Bowl? Anyone do anything for the Super
Bowl? I went to Deep Ellum, which is like, it would be like Mill meets Old Town. And the only part of the Old Town aspect would be that people are older than like college kids.
Gotcha,
so
okay.
We went to this like sports bar. It's called Backyard. It's like, it's a sport. They got many TVs. It's like picnic tables outside. And we watched the game there. There was a keg that was involved. Yeah, that keg was way overpriced. Speaking of spending your money foolishly, that was
You didn't go to Twin Peaks for Super Bowl Sunday?
No Twin Peaks. That would have been it was someone's birthday, so we went to this place. It was cool. We watched the game. We watched what was a great game. We watched Mahomes win that Super Bowl, even though I thought San Francisco had it. I was going to do it for Kobe, but I guess they didn't have enough in them.
Anthony, do you guys do anything for Super Bowl, or do you guys watch it or anything?
Yeah, we went to Super Van Dan's.
I think you mentioned that. Yeah, Super Van Dan. He wins the Rumble, sing, bet, and then he hosts the Super Bowl party the next Sunday. What can't Super Van Dan do?
Yeah, man. He made wings, made some yummy buffalo wings, and actually they're like full wings. He had to like rip the leg apart.
I thought critique of his party. Do an extra step and rip the wing apart.
Oh, look, there's Dallas Fort Worth Wrestling Academy. I can sign up now. That's Cody Rhodes right there. Okay, so yeah, there's a school out here.
Yeah, do it, dude.
Make for great podcast content.
Yeah, sure would, right?
Yeah, you've always wanted to. Why not, right?
What is stopping me?
Nothing. A broken back and damaged knees. Possible concussions.
Yeah, exactly. Several concussion protocols. The fact that I'm 36, not 22. Yep. Pretty sure my hip is broken.
pretty much working through a bum hip. And man, DDP started like when he was like 40, I think. I don't know.
He became he was a manager first, and then I guess he became a wrestler at like 40 years old. And he just wrestled like 2 AEW Dynamites ago. He was in the match.
He really did. He was like a three-way tag, and he was diamond cutting people. It was pretty awesome.
He hit a couple diamond cutters, which would be my finishing move, but no one needs to know that.
That's a lot on your back, man. You better start doing DDP yoga if you're going to hit that as your finisher.
Yes, seriously.
Landing right on your back and like upper neck.
Over and over again. Repeatedly.
Your finisher should just be the Python Punch.
The Python Punch. Is that like a Falcon Punch?
Pretty much. There's some WCW NWO World Tour. They gave it to Hulk Hogan as his finisher for some reason.
To Hogan.
Why did he not use a leg drop?
I don't think they had that N64 technology yet. They couldn't figure out how to make it happen. This game.
Man, I just played. No, it wasn't World Tour. It was
Revenge.
SmackDown.
Yeah, it was Revenge, and it was fun. Dude, No Mercy, No Mercy takes the cake.
Yeah, where did you play Revenge at? You have that system?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have the 64 hooked up.
Is it our N64 from our house? What the hell? I should get that 6 months out of the year, man.
Yeah, you should. We're starting to beef right here on the Bros Before Elbows Pro Wrestling Podcast.
I've had it for the last decade. So
4 months to me, 4 months to Theron, 4 months to you. We just ended up
it'd be great
around the world.
Do you guys have
it still has the expansion pack. No, I lost No Mercy. It got thrown at me in a Vegas hotel room from an ex-girlfriend.
What?
And I was really upset that it was lost. It disappeared in the room.
Oh my god!
Oh man, I can't say that on the podcast.
Sounds like a horrible story.
Dang it! I was so upset. I mean, obviously
you did something to deserve it, but still.
Who throws No Mercy across the room like that?
That's all. Yeah.
This goes back to President Anthony talking to past Anthony.
Yeah, dude. Freaking President Anthony talking to past Anthony. I would have been like, gosh, you buffoon.
Oh my god.
What are you doing, dude?
Put that No Mercy. Don't take that No Mercy to big.
Dude, cut your hair, hippie. What are you doing?
Cut your hair.
Oh, come on. Low blow.
Wow. Did either of you see Bad Boys yet? Or I'm the only person that would probably see it in theaters twice in 4 days.
I didn't make it through Bad Boys 1. I watched Bad Boys 2 and fell asleep, so I probably will not spend money on Bad Boys 3.
Well, you could probably find a way to watch it. I'm sure you can.
Some nefarious means, but I probably won't. It's probably going to be out of theaters by the time I get a chance to watch it. But man, I just watched Bad Boys 1 and Bad Boys 2 back to back a couple weeks ago, so I'm assuming Bad Boys 3 is just the same exact stuff, but just like they're older.
Well,
better special effect. I don't know. No, doesn't have Gabrielle Union in it.
Nah, they broke up. Bad Boys 2. No spoilers, but they broke up. Bad Boys 3 is like us. To give you an idea, us on this podcast being older is them, but they're older. I think they're like in their 40s, and we're
I think Will Smith's like 50, man.
Okay, so they're in their 50s, and he still thinks he's Mike Lowry, and then Marcus is. I
just don't get how they still cops, man. Like it's like Top Gun coming out. Like how is Tom Cruise still like 35 years later still just a fighter pilot?
I don't know how they're still detectives. 25 years in. It's good though.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
It's got some spin. Vanessa Hudgens is in it. Shout out to her.
Okay, there's the.
It's just a big. There's like a big. I wouldn't even say big. It's very different. I mean, they've been alive for so long, so like many things have happened. I'm trying not to.
Is Tay Leone in it?
Who's Tay Leone?
She was in the first
Is that
one.
the chick from Wayne's World?
No, she was in the first one.
Oh no, they got rid of her by the second one. She wasn't even in the second
didn't explain
one.
That very well. Yeah, I don't.
Nah, they just moved on to Gabrielle Union, and Mike Lowry did what he does and moved on to
Mike Lowry.
Yeah,
My name is Mike Lowry.
Yeah, it's funny. Like it.
Oh my god!
I would say rent it on Redbox or wait for it to magically appear on one of your TV streaming apps. So yeah. I saw it for all of us. How about that? I saw it
Lawrence
twice.
is 54 years old.
Right? And he looks 54 years old. And the comedy's like
Will Smith,
funny.
Will Smith doesn't look 54. Will Smith looks like our age, probably.
Exactly. But he's like 50.
51.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a good movie. I liked it. It was really good. But since we're not talking about that, we did mention the Fast 9 trailer. Did you guys see that? Since they're still making Fast and Furious movies 20 years later. Either of y'all see the trailer?
John Cena's in it, man. That's why I kind of wrestling
He is the nefarious evil brother of Vin Diesel.
Whoa, I have not seen the trailers. But that's cool that John Cena's finally heel.
Yeah, he's finally heel. We should name this episode John Cena's finally heel, and we talk about stuff.
Financing might take the present.
And somehow Charlize Theron is like become a part of this faction as a recurring role. I don't even know if The Rock is in it, to be honest with you.
I don't think he is, man. I think someone from Tokyo Drift's in it.
Yeah, the return of your boy Kang Kwang Hong. I think it's Hong.
Pretty sure
Sorry,
I don't know what you did, but
sorry.
I don't know what the right direction is. I'm just sure you butchered it.
Look, I've been watching The Office. I just finished that show for the first time ever, and immediately started it over again. I also just watched Diversity Day for the second time now. What? I don't know if you guys have watched The Office or if you'll even get the reference to Diversity Day, but it's very offensive. Okay,
the first 4 seasons of The Office are like perfect, man. And then like kind of falls off, and like Steve Carell like leaves the show, and like what the hell?
The first 4 are great. 5, 6, and 7 are great. When Steve leaves is like season 7, but right after that, you get the voice of Ultron as the head of The Office for like a season, and that's funny. His name's Rob California. The Office has probably shaped the lives of many people in America to be pretty horrible people. It's funny, but it's like over the top. It's like what you probably would expect in your typical office. Just really douchey douchebags. Just chauvinism, sexism, all types of isms, but it's done in a funny way. So you have to remember that it's supposed to be funny. And then there's Dwight Schrute. So, I mean, it's great. It's a great show.
As long as Jim and Pam get married at the end, I'll be happy.
Oh, yeah, they definitely are married. By the end of the show. It's cool to watch it, though, because you go through, like, I think it came out right around 40-year-old version or right before. Mm-hmm. So you go from the technology of that. So you see, like, flip phones and maybe there's a pager. I don't know. And then by the end of the show, it's like 2013. So you're looking at, like, the iPhone 4S. That's where it stops.
iPhone
just to
4.
give you an idea. Yeah, the 4S. I think they use dial-up internet. I don't know. It's a funny show for sure. What else we got? Are we going to talk about wrestling at all? We haven't spoken anything about any wrestling in this show.
I talked a little bit about AEW is crashing. Let's see what was cool last week on John Moxley's probably like the coolest guy right now, in my opinion.
He's got an eye patch.
Yep. He's got an eye patch.
Yeah, with the eye patch on, which I was thinking the whole time as I'm watching him like fight and go around. I'm like, how is he? How is he fighting literally with just like only looking through one eye?
That's gotta be annoying, man. That's gonna be frustrating, yeah.
That's what I was thinking. I mean, obviously he can do it, but it's like, man, that sort of does put you at a disadvantage.
Yep, but he beat Pac. Pac's my favorite AEW talent right now.
He's really good heel, man. I can't believe I mean, we always say this all the time how WWE misuses people, but man, they really misuse Neville, man. Like
they so could have used him like as the character that he is now, which I guess is like this bastard Pac character. It's like, I don't know. He's like this little evil troll that you just want to squish, but he's so good at being that troll, and he's so dark. And I think he's beefing with Kenny Omega now. I think that's his next target.
Does he still do his crazy flip as his finisher?
He does that, and there's like a Rings of Saturn submission.
Yeah. An aggressive Rings of Saturn,
that's cool.
Where he looks like he's losing his mind.
He's just so quick, man.
Yeah, I think Pac is great.
Fast, dude. And he's so like cut, like his muscles. It's crazy, man. He's like a complete package, man. And then like even on his like mic skills, like wow, he never got to showcase this at all in WWE, man. Like gosh, could they use like a heel like him like all the time?
And they made him a heel, and we just didn't get to see the full potential, because I remember as cruiserweight champion, he was the king of the cruiserweights. And I was like, I like this guy. But now like AEW just like fully turned him loose, right? Like he cut a really sick promo last week from some dark dungeon somewhere, I guess where bastards hang out. I don't know. So like, I was just
cool.
And then John Moxley's really dope. And then the Inner Circle. Okay, so let me ask you this. You've seen an episode. You've seen the Inner Circle. Does anyone in this podcast have anyone that they feel like does not belong in that group at all?
It seems like a ragtag bunch, man. Because you got Jack Swagger, you got Sammy Guevara, you got Santana Ortiz from TNA, and you got Chris Jericho. So I mean, like that is like five. Is that five or six different pieces that really do not fit together? But like, it kind of works, man. It just like seems like you picked a bunch of names out of a hat and just like threw it in a faction. But I think it works, man. I mean, even Sammy Guevara, man, like he was definitely the weak link to start out, but I think he's a future star, man. Just like by association, man. I think he's like they tapped into something. They got like a young star in their hand, and he could be really talented, especially when he breaks off from the Inner Circle whenever that happens.
No, I like him. I was talking about Jake Hager.
Jake Hager, man, he's something else on Twitter, man. If is
he? Is he funny?
Getting him political, man. Think political, man.
Really?
He's living that "We the People" gimmick on his real.
I'm gonna look him up right now.
Yeah, man.
Does he go by Jake Hager?
I think it might still be Jack Swagger, but yeah, he's something else. But he hasn't really done anything. He's just the big muscle, and I think that's fine for him right now until he actually has a match.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask, has he been in any matches?
Zero. Zip. It's kind of, yeah,
interesting.
He just stands there and it's just like the bodyguard, like Diesel was for Shawn Michaels kind of deal. So, yeah, right now I think that's
interesting.
I know he's still doing his MMA career too as well. I think he's 3 or 4-0 fighting at heavyweight.
Oh dang!
Let's look up Jack Swagger. Jack.
Good for him. Yeah, I think he's kind of the odd man out, but at the same time, he just looks mean and he just kind of stands there and
definitely not. I don't know. Ask him to do too much.
To find Jack Swagger. Damn it.
Maybe it is Jake Hager. I don't know. But what else from AEW did you like, Ant? Or did you see? You caught your eye? Your one good eye?
I really like Darby Allin.
Oh man,
yeah, he's cool.
That's another good star, man. I feel like they kind of, I don't know, I don't know if they're lucking into these stars or they're falling into these stars, but yeah, dude, that guy comes down off a skateboard. He skateboards to the ring. He's got the face paint. He's like a hardcore kind of like style, like trashy kind of style, and it works, man.
Yeah, he does that coffin drop, which is pretty crazy.
He just has no regard for his body, which is awesome. People like, I think someone said it has like early Jeff Hardy vibes.
Okay, I can see that.
So which would be huge for AEW. But yeah, man, he does like all his vignettes in black and white, which I think is kind of cool. He did like
I dig that.
Before his match with John Moxley, I think, or maybe it was before Cody Rhodes, he did like a whole like vignette where he's like playing with his band on stage, and the band like puts him into like a body bag on the stage, and then like the video cuts out, and you see the band like drag his body bag out to the top of the entrance ramp, and he unzips it, and he comes out and skateboards down to the ring. Nice. That was kind of cool. I don't know. It's just like it's different, and it always freaks Jim Ross out, which I kind of like.
See, I dig it. It definitely, I feel like it has like this WCW vibe, and that's not to say that's like a bad thing. Just something, I don't know, just like the color combination, just, I don't know, something about the aesthetic just reminds me of it. But I really enjoy just how they let their talent loose. Like, I think that's really cool. Again, I'm loving the promo with Moxley when he said he was going to join the Inner Circle, and then just drags it out, and then finally it's just like, no, dude, I'm kidding. Like, I don't want to be in your group. Group's stupid. Like, I thought that was by far the coolest. Like, just letting these guys letting them run with their talent. I think that's really rad. I'm really digging the MJF Cody Rhodes beef.
Oh man, that got really good tonight, man. Watch tonight's episode. That got really good.
Yeah, I've not seen. I know there's like a strap 10 lashings or whatever that he's got to take. But I haven't seen that yet. But yeah, no, I think AEW is super cool. Watched some NXT. So Keith Lee comes out and he talks about like he's like the new North American champion, and yeah, he deserves it. The guy's a powerhouse. He's, I'm definitely a Keith Lee fan. And then, yeah, watching the Broserweights win. Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. I thought that was fun. I enjoy the dynamic between Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne. Excuse me, but I guess like from what I've been reading on CagesideSeats.com that like Pete Dunne's kind of not vibing well with Matt Riddle. But I think Matt Riddle has like his personality and just his humor. He's so lackadaisical. He's a bro.
I think it's just frustrating to people.
Doesn't.
It's frustrating. He's like the guy who shows up at your office. You don't think he's taking work seriously. Kind of maybe that kind of vibe.
But he's kicking ass.
He's really talented.
He's kicking ass and like doing so good.
Yeah.
So I just think it's kind of that like, yeah, I think his personality just rubs Dunn the wrong way. But I think it's a good like odd couple. You know, and if Dunn truly isn't happy, I mean, that sucks. But at the same time, like for comedic purposes, like you have the seriousness and then you have the comedy that's in there. And I think those two, I like it. I think it works really well. And I think Matt Riddle's a badass. You know, at first I had my hesitations because he was an MMA guy, and I was like, well, how well is like the MMA going to look, and how well is I going to, show and perform? But he's proved me wrong time and time again. I mean, he's a badass and he's good at what he does. It just appears that he doesn't care, but that's part of his charm. He's a bro.
It kind of reminds me of a light, like Daniel Bryan, Kane vibes, where it's the opposites like paired together and like work it out. And that's sometimes like some kind of the best. Like it's an easy like pro wrestling like trope they've gone to over and over again, but sometimes it just works to seeing that different like opposites from different sides of the world and see how they can coexist. And then with the MMA thing, like it's hard to do that, man. It's hard to pull that off because people know so much about wrestling now and they know so much about MMA and how different they are. So people can like spot the differences easier because like people know like what a real MMA strike looks like as opposed to like a pro wrestling style strike. So to be able to pull off that kind of like persona and that kind of move set, I think it's like an extra challenging because fans are so much more knowledgeable nowadays than like, I don't know, back in like the Ken Shamrock or like Steve Blackman or Dan Severn kind of days, like back in the 90s when they had that run. So I think Riddle being able to pull it off is it's a testament to his talent and it's how like naturally gifted he really is to be able to pull off that persona and that moveset, which is really difficult to pull off because people know so much about MMA nowadays.
Heck yeah.
Aaron, comments about NXT?
Oh, it's great. I actually watched last week's episode, so I saw everything you guys were talking about. Shout out to the Broserweights for winning the Dusty Rhodes Classic. Hopefully that will be a big upward tick in their directions. What else is going on? Well, as I'm going to spoil this for you, Charlotte Flair is on NXT tonight. I don't know what the outcome was, but I'm guessing she's answering the challenge of Rhea Ripley. So I guess they are going in the direction of perhaps a Charlotte versus Rhea feud, which would be good for NXT, especially competing with AEW week in and week out and losing week in and week out. So that's good. What else is going on? Well, I can't tell you because you got to watch it, so I don't want to spoil it, but I read about it on K-Side, so I'm excited to see that. Ciampa Cole's going to be pretty cool. I think that's going to be a good feud. I'm trying to figure out if the prophecy is going to come to an end. They've already lost one title. So, and then the Broserweights get a tag title match, I think, at Portland.
That's good. Takeover Portland is going to be, it's freaking stacked, man. It's going to,
yeah, it is.
Got Gargano versus Ripley, Gargano versus Balor, Ripley versus Belair, Ciampa versus Cole, Broserweights versus Undisputed Era, Keith Lee versus Dominic Dijakovic for North American title, and it's got Tegan Knox versus Dakota Kai in a street fight, which might be like a show stealer. Wow.
Yeah.
Man, that's a good card. I guess that making up for not having a card during Royal Rumble weekend, but that's a really, really good card, man. Dang, Anthony's gonna see over Anthony.
Yeah, dude, it's gonna be good, dude. Yeah. I'm gonna have like no voice.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be yelling Adam Cole, baby, the whole time.
Yeah.
Poor it.
Yeah. God, I'm gonna freaking mark out so hard when he comes out and he yells Adam Cole, baby. I'm just, oh man, it's gonna be so good. I'm so excited. So excited. Heck yeah. Well, I mean, we got some time left. Probably got about 9-10 minutes left. I don't know if there's anything else you guys want to to bring up. We're kind of going a little unscripted here, so yeah, I don't know if there's any topics you guys wanted to touch base on.
Either Super Bowl commercials or Pop-Tart pretzels or something on Raw or SmackDown.
Ruby Riott,
Super Bowl commercials.
Ruby Riott.
Oh wait,
returned.
what? Yeah, Ruby Riott.
She's back. She came back a week after the Royal Rumble on Raw, just to start a beef with Liv Morgan. How do we feel about that? But that gives Liv Morgan a way better feud, right? I think her feud with Lana is
so bad.
Stupid.
It's horrible.
I think it's ending, or it's over, or it's coming to a close, because Riott came out after Liv beat Lana, and it looked like she was gonna hug her, and then she just did a mic check. I think that's what Mr. Kennedy used to call it. And then she just beat her up, and then she left. She's got green dreads now. Her hair's really long. Her ring attire changed. She looks mean. Then Lana hit her with a Bronco Buster. So now Liv Morgan has two enemies: a love triangle and a former friend. So I'm excited for that. Ricochet got a WWE Championship match at the Saudi show. He won the triple threat. That made no sense why him, Lashley, and Seth Rollins were in it, but hey. Yeah,
threw people in a bag and just worked out. Yeah, I think Ricochet is going to bump like crazy for Brock Lesnar in Saudi Arabia on a Thursday afternoon, so that should be interesting.
Yep, a random Thursday afternoon in the Sauds.
I am excited for Ruby Riott to come back. I was definitely a big Ruby Riott fan when she was in NXT, so much that I really thought that they were going to give her a run with the title. And then when she got pulled up, I was really excited, but that was at the time when you get pulled up and then you just become nothing. And that really made me sad. And just how she just continued to lose on the main roster really pissed me off, because she's super talented. She killed it in NXT. She was so good. So I am excited that she's back because she's really good. And, I really enjoy her style, and I'm hoping that they do something good with her and, kind of not fast track her, but give her good storylines and give her the push up.
Yeah, I think she was kind of dragged down by being put into a faction right when she went from NXT to the main roster. So she's getting a second chance as a singles competitor. Hopefully the WWE does not squander it.
Yeah, she's really good. And real quick, for Super Bowl commercials, I just want to say this. The Google commercial I thought was the best.
Gosh, man, that was so
everybody cried. Everybody cried.
So messed up.
Except for Dan, because Dan was cooking in the kitchen. He's like, "What did I miss?" And everybody's just bawling their eyes out. So Google, you won.
Google made, I don't know. Google, yeah, that was a really good commercial. And then I thought the Snickers one, where they were saying on the bad people go into the hole or whatever, the Snickers hole or whatever. I thought was kind of funny. And then Bill Murray and Groundhog Day with the Jeep. That was
a good
in the
one
fourth
too.
quarter when no one was really paying attention. I just kind of walked by. I was like, huh? I was like, oh man, that was a good commercial just because Bill Murray. So yeah, that was good. Darren, do you spot any good commercials while you're at the bar doing keg stands?
Here's the problem. When the commercials were on, Cotton, they would turn on music, so I couldn't hear anything.
Oh, that's kind of funny.
I did get to see that Jason Momoa is that his name?
Yeah,
he's not as big as you think he.
The Aquaman.
He's not as big as we think he is.
What?
The Aquaman.
He's got fake muscles.
Aquaman, man.
Yeah.
No, it's BS. How do you have fake muscles?
It was a commercial for Rocket Mortgage. He took all his muscles off and then he sat on the couch and he was bald. I thought that was funny.
Here's what me and Crystal discovered for that commercial. That first of all, he's married to Lisa Bonet from The Cosby Show, which is just wild. Like, wow, man. I don't know who that's a bigger pull for. Is that a bigger pull for Jason or for Lisa? Because Jason's a hot commodity too, and Lisa Bonet is legendary. So. But Lisa Bonet is at 52, and Jason, whatever his name is 40. So I was like, huh. I didn't think he was that old, and I didn't think she was that old.
Yeah, he's 40. That's insane. I remember seeing that he was older, and I was like, really? Yeah. Didn't he just blow up?
I remember in Game of Thrones, man. Right? Yeah.
No, that's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a Mountain Dew commercial with the guy from Breaking Bad, and then there's a mini Mr. Peanut. I'm gonna go back and watch what is the top.
It was Baby Nut.
5 Super Bowl commercials of this year. There's one with Captain America, that one chick, and Jim Halpert. Huh. There's a Cheeto commercial, a Wonder Woman commercial.
There was a lot of with not Charlie from the Always Sunny in Philadelphia. One of the guys from Always Sunny in Philadelphia was in a Tide commercial.
Oh, the guy with the high pitched voice.
Yeah,
Horrible Bosses.
Yeah, he kept popping up in like Bud Light commercials and Tide commercials, and he's popped up in that Wonder Woman commercial.
Why did you guys cry during the Google one? Is it because it looks like it's showing like pictures of old couples? Is that the right one?
Yeah, just watch it, man. Watch it. Like
it'll make you
watch
cry.
It late
it will
late
absolutely
at night,
make you
like
cry.
in a dark room by yourself, and just like think about life, and then watch that commercial.
Oh, well, that's what I did when I watched The Office.
It'll be the opposite reaction to watching The Office.
Well, the season finale when it gets all soppy and like sad. Series finale.
No, it just gets soppy. Yeah.
Yeah, you shed a gangster tear when Michael Scott comes back.
That was a good run-in, man. That was like when Edge came back. Michael Scott came back.
Yeah,
you think you know him?
Yeah, you
on
don't.
this day.
Wait, the Count had a Super Bowl commercial
from Sesame Street.
Yep.
Oh, dang, I missed that one.
I'm gonna have to come in and watch all these and get real soppy. I'm just kidding.
I'm telling you, man, Google will make you cry. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I'm gonna watch it.
It was so good, dude. It was so good.
You guys excited for any movies dropping? Birds of Prey drops tomorrow, Friday.
Harley Quinn, yeah, it looks cool.
That's gonna come out, I think next in Marvel. So there's Morbius trailers. I don't know if you guys have seen that. I guess that might be the start of the Sinister Six.
What?
Which is like,
I didn't even hear about that.
Oh, so I want to say, is it Jake Gyllenhaal? No, it's not. It's someone else.
Jake Gyllenhaal is just Mysterio in the last Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, so it's not him. It's another actor.
I think it's Jared Leto, right?
It's Jared Leto. He is Morbius. I never knew much about the Sinister Six. They must have happened later in X-Men life or whatever, Spider-Man. But I guess this is like a start to that. We're moving into a new phase of Marvel, which will feature like the Eternals, which I don't even know what they are.
I think it has something to do with Guardians of the Galaxy, but I could just be completely wrong, and the comic book guy in our audience will just
I have no idea.
So what I've done is in a MCU challenge is very slowly watch the Marvel movies in chronological order, which is really weird because it goes Captain America first, which makes sense. I think that was the first one. I could be wrong.
Iron Man was the first one, yeah.
That's what I thought. So it's Captain America, and then it's Captain Marvel in chronological order.
That makes sense because Captain America was the 40s, and Captain Marvel was
Marvel's 95. Yep. So it's cool, I guess. I mean, I just saw Captain Marvel like last year, so watching it again, I'm like, I already know what's about to happen. You know what I mean? I want to go back and watch so I watched Captain America, the first one, but I don't feel like Captain America really picked up steam till like Civil War and all that, like later on. Or Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier was pretty badass, so.
Yeah, and that's getting its own show. Like the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I think is going to be on Disney Plus.
That was the Super Bowl commercial, man. They showed all the Disney Plus Marvel stuff coming to Disney Plus. It was like Loki.
That's right.
And then
I saw.
Scarlet Witch and Vision get their own show. It's like, what?
Really?
It looks that looks kind of dope, man. It looks pretty cool, actually. It's like, damn, you got me back again, Marvel. You got me back again.
Yeah, I guess that's what.
Yeah, I'd be interested in watching the Marvel, the whole everything up into Endgame.
Yep.
In the order in which it's supposed to be, like story wise, or whatever.
That'd be cool.
It makes sense because I mean, in Marvel, Captain Marvel. So Captain America is where you first see the Tesseract, which I think is the very first Infinity Stone you ever see in these movies, or in chronological order. And then in Captain Marvel, it's still the same. There's just that one, and then I think after that it goes the 2 Iron Mans. So I'm excited for those because I remember when Marvel first came out with those movies, I was a Marvel fan, but I don't really know much about Captain America or Iron Man or Thor. And then it just kind of took off. So like, I'm excited to go back and watch those and Iron Man's roots. And it's cool seeing in Captain America, like Iron Man's dad. So Steve Stark or Tony Stark. And then I think the dad's Steve that's Steve Rogers. But anyway, it's cool seeing how it all develops. Yeah, it's interesting, but you can catch a Marvel movie on TNT at any time.
Yeah, every 5. That's all they play. It's Marvel movies and AEW.
Yeah.
On Wednesday night for 1 or 2 hours. That's it. And then Marvel movies the rest of the time.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got 30 seconds.
Awkwafina
so final thoughts.
Awkwafina is North from Queens is a great new series on Comedy Central featuring Awkwafina. I guess she was in some other cool stuff. Might have won an Oscar. I could be wrong. I don't know. Might have won a Daytime Emmy. I'm not sure. The girl's funny. Check it out. The show's funny. What else? And Pop-Tarts has a pretzel flavor, which I am vetoing.
Got it. Tommy, final thoughts.
I feel like I should get into BoJack Horseman, but I think it just ended.
It's a great show. You should watch it on Netflix. I'm on season 1. We can talk about it.
We can do an offshoot podcast, a BoJack podcast.
Yeah.
Bro.
My friend told me I was like BoJack Horseman, and I said that's very depressing. Thanks.
Oh my gosh, I know nothing about this BoJack Horseman. I will say as my final thought, go to your local library, get a library membership because you can rent comic books on your tablet, which is super rad. What? So I started doing that, started reading. Yeah, dude, I went to we have a library right next to where I work, and I was like, oh, she was telling me about it, like, yeah, download this app. It's called Hoopla. And she's like, oh, it's a part of a membership for the library or whatever. You can rent comic books. And I was like, are you serious? And I started looking at it, and I read the new Darth Vader comics.
What?
And it's pretty sick, dude. And then I also rented or checked out all of the Injustice comics.
Nice.
Oh.
So all for free because that's what your library does. Your library hooks you up with movies and DVDs and books and all that stuff. So that's my other PSA is go to the library, get a membership. It's free. Read and take advantage of all the free stuff that's out there because it's free.
You just gave me another nerdy idea for 2020.
Yeah, dude, go to the library. It's free. It's free, dude. You don't gotta spend nothing.
Anthony's aged so much. Save your money and go to the library.
Oh my god.
Let's go. I'm so for it. That's what my 36-year-old self would tell my 26-year-old self is stop trying to be Big Papa Pump and go to the library, dude. Save your money. You're gonna
read comic books for free, dude. It's legit. There's also audiobooks. There's like TV shows, and I'm telling you, man,
library's awesome, man. Okay, elbow drop your friends, people.
I still don't have a slogan yet.
Thanks for listening to the Bros Before Elbows Pro Wrestling Podcast. Find us and like us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. Join the conversation. Share the show. Yeah.